So the other thing I do is I put feet on the bottom of my board, because once you get a really heavy cake, it's hard to get your fingers under here, and I don't like that. So I only have one set in here, but I always take foam core. This is black on black foam core, and I just cut little squares and I glue them together, and then I just hot glue them on the bottom of my board. And that gives me feet. So it's easy to move around, it's easy to lift up.
And where to get those black on black foam core is probably at
craft stores.
A craft store.
Any craft store. And they don't have to be black on black, they can be white. I just had black on black in my bag because the last project I did, I think I had a black board, so I put the black feet on it.
Michael's, Hobby Lobby.
Joann's, any of those craft stores would be a good place to get these. And you can get the double core. This is 2 of the 1/8 inch. You can also buy the ones that are a 1/4 inch.
There it
and
is.
see, so I've just hot glued these together.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And you don't have to cut, I cut 1 inch squares because I'm a bit OCD.
Yeah,
You don't have
bit?
to. A little bit. You don't have to cut 1 inch squares. You can just cut and just glue them together.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to see them. They're going to be underneath the board.
your
Nobody's
feet.
going to see them. They're just there to support the
You could
board.
cut them to look like feet.
You
You could. See?
Yeah. And then you can hold your cake, but you can't, nobody's
You
going to see
can't.
it, see? So it doesn't matter.
So you said these aren't expensive, these boards, because I'm very excited because that's like exactly what you would need and without putting all the trouble into it.
Oh,
You
these?
Just, you just go.
Yeah.
Is that $5? Is that
This is
$3?
$11.99
Okay.
at Michael's.
Okay.
But if you have a 40% off coupon or a 50% off
There you
coupon,
go.
you can get them cheaper, which is actually about the size of a cardboard drum. Like a $5
Yeah.
is about the size of a 12-inch cardboard drum.
A big one,
And so it's worth it to buy these. The other little tip that I'll tell you that I've done is if you go to the dollar store or 99-cent store, Dollar Tree, 99-cent store. What's the other one? Big Lots. We have a Big Lots in our little town. Buy a cutting board. You can go and buy a square cutting board or a round wooden cutting board, and you can use that as your support because it's the same thing. It's going to be maybe a little bit thinner than this, but not much.
Yeah.
And you can get it for $1.
Yeah, I love that.
At the dollar store or Dollar Tree 99-cent store.
Yeah.
And just depending on what size you need, you're not going to get huge ones. You're not going to get like the tabletop size I just showed you. But if you're doing a small structure like this one, I could have got probably a 12-inch square cutting board for $1 and you're
There you
done.
go.
It's the same thing. It's wood, it's solid, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's another little tip.
I would think that if you're doing this kind of stuff, and you wouldn't be on this show if you weren't.
If you weren't planning on
If
it.
you weren't planning on it, go when you see one, pick it up.
Yeah.
Put it in storage.
Exactly.
You've got, you got 2 of these and 2 of those and 3 of these, and then all you do is go to it and go, okay, this one will work.
Yeah, this one will work. This size will work. And if you see them on sale, or if you have if you have a 50% off coupon to Michael's,
go.
but you don't have a cake coming up, go look around. I always do that. The minute I get a 50% off coupon, and if it's good for 2 days, I go both days. I'll go and go, okay, what do I need? You know what? I'm
Right.
going to get 3 boards because that,
Yeah.
I can then have these on,
Yeah.
if you have a husband like mine who lets you have very little storage room in the garage belongs to him. I have to store them in the house. He does let me store the PVC pipe because occasionally he uses it too. But anyways, I do buy a few and I keep them on hand because you never know. It's easier to just go and go, what do I have? And if I have a few sizes, I can usually make those work. All right, so we've got our board. We've added our feet to it. You want to add your feet to it before you build your cake, because it's a pain to lift your cake up and try to add feet, which I will be honest with you, I have done a 4-tier wedding cake and went, oh, poop, I didn't put feet on it and had to, and this is the trick of how you do that if you have to. You take your cake and you slide one section of it off your counter, just a quarter of it, and you hot glue it and you stick it on, and then you turn it around and slide the other section off, put a foot on, slide it back, slide. That's the way to do that if you accidentally don't put your feet on before you build your cake. But do it before, it's much easier.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's little things like that make me excited because that saves so much time and energy and, all you do is this, this, and this, and it takes care of the whole thing.
Well, and it's so funny because I see on TV, there's one cake show in particular where they have them moving these giant cakes.
Yeah.
And they have them putting them on these square tables that have a lip on them. So the cake actually drops into the lip.
Right.
And they're
Ouch.
always going, my fingers, my
Right.
fingers, and they
Right.
yank their fingers out and the cake slams down. And it's like, I'm
Yeah.
always worried every time. And I think, well, first off, why do they put the lip on there?
Right.
I think they're doing it to make good TV.
Right.
And nobody has feet on the board, so they can't just take it and set it down.
That's
They have
just
to
silly.
like pull their fingers out, which is painful.
That's just silly.
Painful to watch, and I'm sure painful for them.
Yep.